Hello and welcome to the WardiTV Team League Season 8 Pre-Season Qualifier Preview. How are you all doing today? And I hope you're ready for what is going to be a fantastic season of the Team League in this new, revamped, and really just wonderful format. 10 teams are going to be taking place in the main competition for over $2,500 a prize pool, which is split down into the pre-season qualifiers, the main season, which itself has a couple of different rounds, and the post-season featuring playoffs and kind of stay-in qualifier matches for the next season of team play. Now this weekend we are going to be mostly looking towards the pre-season qualifiers, as we are looking for 4 teams to fill 4 qualifier spots in that 10-team lineup in the main event. Already in the main event we have Team Liquid, Romandy Gaming, as well as Asterion, Q-Lash, sort of Hostoms combo team, and Team Expert as well. So today we kick off the pre-season, and it's going to be very interesting. This is our pre-season bracket that we've got up next to me right here, and it's pretty darn stacked. I'm going to work from top to bottom to give you a bit of an idea of teams to look out for, and well, just why you should be looking out for them. I mean, let's start with the obvious right up here at the top, Root Gaming. Maybe he didn't have the best of performance in Season 7, only a top 8 finish, but, well, I mean, a top 8 finish still isn't all that bad, right? Well, when you've got players such as Hero on your team, you're probably looking to go as far as possible. Then again, they didn't do as badly as Psystorm Gaming, who didn't even make it into the playoffs to begin with players such as Gumiho on their roster. So, you know, let's not take hits when hits aren't needed. But Root Gaming definitely want to look out for. You can see up here they are the #1 seed, and that is for a reason, because we're expecting them to do very well. We're expecting them to really have one hell of a season, and honestly, for them, the preseason should just be the beginning. It should be nowhere near the end. Their competitors, as they're going to be looking to move into round 3, and then of course all the way over here to the qualified position. The people standing in their way, a couple of NA teams in round 1, Rival Gaming and Endless Gaming. And then the real challenge is going to be Iron Chain and Forged Force Gaming. Forged Force Gaming just picking up Risky, that's probably their most notable player. Out of Iron Chain, you've probably heard of the name Minato. He's been making a bit of a stir, the Ukrainian Zerg. He's one to watch out for. The problem is, it's just one player on each team that could maybe kind of throw an upset in. And in a team league format like this, sometimes that is enough, but more often than not, the better team will come out ahead. And I think Root Gaming are going to go plain sailing through into those qualifying rounds and into the main season. Now we look at our second little section of the bracket, and this is where things do really get interesting. Is Imber, or actually no longer partnered with OSC Elite? It turns out they're just going to be using Soul as a mercenary throughout the season. They're going to be taking on 7X Team, who actually finished in 2nd place in the 2nd division in Season 7. So a little bit of a interesting startup match, one that Izimba should cruise through. And then we've got Meliora Esports, a brand new team, looking to come into the Team League and kickstart their Team League careers with some success. Now again, I think we're mostly looking at, in a lot of these matches, the round 3 matchup, which we're expecting here to be Izimba versus Meliora Esports. Meliora with a lineup such as Panda Bear Me, Jim Rising, it's a lot of Zergs, and they could definitely do some damage. But when you think that Izimba do now have Soul on their roster, they have Hellraiser, who's a big up-and-comer. All it takes is for one of these players to be having a kind of crazy good day in the versus Zerg matchup. And what's going to happen then to Meliora? Are they going to be able to make it through or not? That's going to be a tough one. That's our second section of the bracket here today in the pre-season. Moving down to the lower half of the bracket, well, we mentioned it before, Psystorm Gaming, they have got some redeeming to do. An absolutely atrocious Season 7 by their standards, and they can only really go up from here. They've really locked themselves into a very NA-focused section of the bracket. Sloth Esports Academy and the Sloth Esports Pro teams in this section. And you got to be looking at Sloth Esports Pro as maybe the team that could throw that curveball out there and maybe challenge Psystorm, who are of course another kind of big kind of NA team. So really, battle of the NA teams here, and what are we expecting there? Well, I think you have to say it again. Psystorm have Gumiho, but Gumiho lost 2-0 to Jim Rising a couple of weeks ago in the OSC Championship, so is it all going to be plain sailing? Okay, yes, they've got a lot of kind of, you know, Psystorm have like so many layers of, well, if this goes wrong, we still got that, you know, we got True, we got Jon Snow, we've got Gumiho. They've got a pretty stacked roster. But again, that Sloth Esports Pro roster gets better and better, Game Time's doing well, and you can never really count them out. The battle of the NA teams there for the 3rd qualifying position, and then we do have to wrap up the bracket But whoever seeded this part of the bracket really did not know who was in these teams. Yeah, that might have been me. I kind of knew, but I just didn't really realize just how good Cool Guys and Roddy are going to be this season, as they are down here right to the bottom, and they're going to be playing against Team Revolution. That's going to be the second match of day 1 of preseason, and that's going to be a banger. Team Revolution just announced picking up Golden, Fear, and Optimus. 3 fantastic players. Maybe not your, oh my god, we're going to go win WCS players, but players who've been getting better and better over the past years, and who can definitely put in a performance. But then you've got Cool Guys and Roddy, and you might be feeling, oh yeah, okay, we saw Stream Team last year, it was kind of fun, but, you know, surely they're not going to make it into the top 10 teams. Stefano, the Muslim. Roddy is over 6k MMR right now as well. Plus then you've got, just as a backup, Pig, Indy, and one more player, M. Canning. Oh yeah, that's right. M. Canning going to be leading that squad as well. It's going to be a pretty awesome team, and that is quite the clash there for day 1 of the preseason. One big team is already going to be dropping. And what's even crazier, that isn't even a qualifying matchup. The qualifying matchup comes in right here, and that's when Prophecy Esports are probably going to be coming out to play. They have to play against Next Gaming or Lost in Translation in their first match. That probably shouldn't be an issue when your roster features Special, the 7k European MMR Zerg player, Raynor, as well as others, such as Ryung. In fact, Prophecy might just be one of the most stacked teams in StarCraft 2 right now, and it's sort of happened without anyone really realizing. They have a really sick roster, it's deep, and when you can field 4 players that are all terrifying on their own, that really is where Team League teams generally tend to shine. Prophecy Esports will be taking on the winners of Team Revolution, Cool Guys and Roy, providing they don't have a disaster in their round 2 matchup. It's going to be tough. It is not an easy section of the bracket, and honestly for me, this is the section of the bracket where anything could happen. I think Prophecy have to be the favourites, but god, I don't even know what's going to happen in Cool Guys and Roddy versus Team Revolution. But there is one way to find out, and that's to have a look at the games. So make sure you tune into the WardiTV Team League Season 8 preseason this weekend on WardiTV.